Hey guys. Okay, so we are back to talk about Celebrity Big Brother season 3. This is episode. Why am I just like, I'm so invested in this? I'm enjoying the frick out of it. Language.
The gameplay, the alliances that are forming. Let's just get right into it.
Yeah.
At the center of all of these, you have Todrick.
And I'm not mad at it. I just really hope he doesn't like Frankie Grande this.
Or Tiffany, where Tiffany was in the best spot early on last season in nearly every single alliance, and then kind of ended up biting the bullet first when it came down to it.
Just had haters.
Yeah. So Todrick is in formation, which is with Carson, Mariah, and Shanna. And
Cynthia, right?
And Cynthia.
That one's my favorite. Sorry.
There's the girls in the gays alliance.
The real one. I want that one to be the real one.
Yeah, I know it probably won't be now, but
no, I agree.
There's the girls in the gays alliance with Todrick, Carson, Cynthia, and
Shanna.
Formation just adds Mirai to it. Then there was the alliance with Miesha, Chris from NSYNC, Todrick.
He had a one-on-one with Chris from NSYNC.
Yeah, and then he like walked into like the kitchen, and Miesha was like, I hate when they do this, when people recruit other people without telling anyone, and then they're just like, so this is our new alliance member, and they're like,
I literally talked to Ashley, what the fuck, how's that gonna work? And they're like, yeah, perfect, no one will know. And they're like, yeah, no one will know, and we won't be able to be on the same page.
Yeah, it's not everyone can be the cookout where you aren't all in the same room at one point alone until however far in the game. That's crazy that even happened.
Cool. But I mean,
Todrick,
when two of them are sleeping the whole time.
Yeah, let's get into that. So Todd, they have a little segment where Chris Kattan, who I love, by the way, if you've seen Night at the Roxbury or like the SNL sketch,
he's so fucking funny. He's old though.
Yeah, I mean, because he was on in like the 90s with like, Sandler, Will Ferrell, so
prime time.
He has a little segment where we obviously have someone snoring. It's Todd, and Chris is like seen going like, should I like tell him to like stop?
Why are you
doing I like wake him up?
Scary voice.
He's like, should I like tell him that he needs to stop snoring? I can't sleep.
Like, no, you can't. Like that. He's sleeping. Like they're like looking at him like no, and in his mind he's like, why not? And then he out loud is literally like, well, I want to get some sleep. He was dead serious.
It's something that like most people wouldn't say, and he's just like, can he like stop snoring?
He not. This isn't gonna work for me.
He's like, I need sleep. He's like, dude, you've already been sleeping in here for 2 hours. Like, you got to knock it off. So he has like a little segment where he's like,
he's so serious.
He's like, I hate Todd. I'm kidding. I mean, like, I need to sleep, but like, I don't really.
I think Todd thinks they're really great friends.
Yeah.
And Chris
I'm sure.
Like, burn it. Oh,
I can't sleep.
But he plays. He's like, he fakes it, so he's like, hate him.
Mm-hmm.
And Todd's like, I love Chris, man. We just buddy.
And Chris is like
it's just like it. That's what I got. Like it was just so delusional on both sides. We're on different pages, and I just thought it was.
We also have the Athletes Alliance, which is Lamar.
It doesn't have all athletes.
Yeah, because Todrick's in it and Chris Kirkpatrick is in it.
Dancers are considered athletes. but pop stars. I mean, he dances and sings, but like that's not what they're like really labeling him as.
No, I guess, I mean, Todrick, I more so understand than Chris.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was originally just supposed to be Miesha, Mariah, and Lamar. Basketball player, figure skater, UFC fighter. And then Todrick got added, and then Chris got added. So.
But then Mariah also made an alliance very loud and like aggressively in the bathroom with Teddy in the shower, her in the shower, and Todrick like just trying to fold some shit.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. Mariah, I really like, but I know that she's going to be
too hard.
Or she's just not careful. Case in point, the main crux of this episode, Miesha's whole plan is to backdoor Teddy. She tells that to Todrick and, you know, the rest of the Formation Alliance. However, she ends up telling Mariah, like, she pulls her up into the HOH and is like, hey, this is my plan. I'm planning on backdooring Teddy. And Mariah's like, okay, cool. And then she's like, but I'm going to nominate you on the block because, like, I need a strong, like, person on the block. And Mariah's like,
that's not going to work. Yeah, I don't like that one.
So she goes and she talks to Teddy and is like, listen, like, you need to be careful because, like, she's, like, planning on coming after you. Then we get Teddy going to Todrick and being like, you'll never guess.
I love her.
Mariah came up to me and was like, Miesha's gonna come after you. And Todrick's like, oh, no way, what?
Crazy. Who told you that? Mariah told you that?
He's like, wait, Mariah, like,
time
Mariah?
And she looked you straight in the eye when she said it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take this to upstairs.
He's like, cool, I'm gonna go to the bath. I'm gonna go talk to Miesha. I mean, go to the bathroom. And I think a lot of people are probably gonna be like, I already saw some discourse saying that Todrick, like, because a lot of people like Mariah.
Yeah.
And that they're like, Todrick threw Mariah under the bus. It's like, no, Mariah threw Mariah under the bus. Like, you can't, like,
I was thinking the same exact thing.
You can't fault Todrick in the situation because you're not going to side with someone who's not the HOH in the first week. Like, you're.
But also, yes, her choosing her loyalty. And that's where Todrick is lucky that he's in their alliance. So they are comfortable telling him that. But really, he's in like a million alliances. So because the HOH is in his alliance, one of them, he's got to go give it that.
Yeah. And
she just was bamboozled. She thought, I guess, his social ass was only talking to her.
Mariah?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's giving Brian from season 10, where Brian thought he was going to, like, win the whole thing. He goes home week 1. You know, and like, I really like Mariah. That's the difference between a lot of the people that go first. And I'm not saying Mariah is going first because I think she has a good shot of staying. It's just right now, that's how it's looking.
Yeah. It's not
I don't know. And then we also get the reveal of this secret power, which I'm not going to focus on too much because it's kind of dumb.
So yeah, it's not really for me, and I didn't think it would be, but I tried.
It's pretty much what I expected. It's they're safe for the week, and then I'm assuming the night of the eviction they can like overrule or maybe like add an extra vote or something. Yeah. We don't know exactly yet, but I'm like,
yeah. But they basically play like one person puts it on and picks someone until it gets to whoever's last is the one that's safe.
Yeah, so if you don't want someone to get it, you give it to them first, but maybe not because then they know they're targeting you.
Yeah, kind of weird. And then like it ended up coming down to Shanna and Cynthia got it. So
Mariah ended up giving it to Shanna, which Mariah ended up getting put in a very bad position because up until that point, like you could take some offense to like you getting it, but like Mariah pretty much chose who it was.
Yeah.
And then Chris started to have like a little like joking like hissy fit about getting it first. And then they ended up being in an alliance later. I don't know. Like it was really weird. Or maybe this was after.
I think it was after, but they edited a little bit, so it's like hard to know.
It was just weird. He was like, should I be worried that like the HOH gave me it?
She was like, okay.
He's like, are we like fighting now?
Nobody else noticed though. They were oblivious.
Yeah, no, everyone. And then everyone was like, are you guys okay? Are you like fighting?
He's like, I don't know. Are we?
He's like, are we fighting?
Cause, honey, we could go.
Cause bye. Anyway.
Period.
We get to the nomination ceremony finally.
Sorry, I love this show, so it's giving for me, honey.
Miesha ends up basically finding out from Todrick, and she's like, okay, well, what am I gonna do? So she approaches Carson, and Carson is basically like, you know, doing whatever she wants. He's, you know, nodding his head to everything, yes to everything.
Okay, yeah.
And he basically takes Mariah's spot of being the pawn, and Mariah ends up taking Teddy's spot as the target.
And now Chris Kattan is confused as fuck.
Chris Kattan, once Carson gets put up, he's like, what?
He's like, are we in the same fucking house?
He's like, dude, what did I miss? What did I miss while I was trying to sleep?
And Todd's like, I was snoring. I was sleeping good.
I love, okay, as much as I wanted Jerry Trainer in the house, Chris Kattan is giving me everything that I was gonna miss if Jerry Trainer wasn't in the house.
Well, my favorite thing is that he's being serious.
He's serious. He's like, dude, why would you put those two up?
He's just like,
he gives me Rennie vibes.
Or like kind of like Victoria, but not annoying.
Rennie and Victoria in the sense of like they kind of have no clue, but like they're genuinely upset when things happen. It's so funny. If Chris got HOH, he obviously wouldn't be downstairs, but like he would absolutely have put up Todd. He would have been like, listen, I just don't like you that much. He's like a Cody in that sense of like, Megan, I just don't like you very much.
Did she self-evict? Sorry. That was the same season that Josh was crying, so he wanted to go home. And he was so paranoid. He was like, I know she put that shit on me.
The first day, Josh is like, I know I was going home if I didn't get it. And everyone's like, dude, what are you talking about?
He's like, oh, there are so many targets on me. Everyone's like, what's that guy's name again? I don't know. Don't worry about him till like week 7. And he was like, they're coming for me.
He's like, I didn't leave my family to go home, you know, the first day. I can't. Anyway.
Oh, memory. Oh,
so, okay. Mariah and Carson are on the block. Apparently, Vito might have already been played, and we just don't know. We do know that live feeds are on right now, but apparently they've been getting kind of, you know, the person with the button that controls them has been a little trigger happy. So,
as they have for many years now.
The live feeds are on, but they're not like.
It's malfunction. Oops, sorry. We'll be back momentarily.
And I'm kind of surprised. Another thing, Lamar's whole segment about Chloe.
Yeah. I thought that would happen, that he would try to say something like that, but I wasn't sure if we'd ever get to see it, like if they would be allowed to show it.
I mean, I think because
it was good
stuff. It's the same thing with Omarosa, where they were like, okay, going into this, we know she's going to talk about these people, and we know that that's what people are going to want.
So we have to show a little bit.
A little bit. I know that it ended up getting back to like the White House, where like they were like, Omarosa's talking about y'all, and they're like, okay.
They're like, okay, Chen, Moonves, what's up? We need to talk. You gotta start cutting some feeds, bro.
So
we're you down.
I'm sure obviously they have to sign some sort of release for some people that they're going to talk about. Obviously Lamar's ex,
because there's been people
Chloe.
There's been people they've had to bleep out, like what's Caitlyn's boyfriend, remember?
Yeah.
We never got to hear her really like say his name or anything because he didn't want to sign a release.
Yeah, he didn't sign the release, but like also they still talk about them, but like they kind of like are like, oh no, like my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like he didn't sign the release. And they're like, okay, well, we know who you're talking about now. Yeah. So anyway, that's this episode. We will find out power veto and the eviction very soon. I
hope like one of the nominees wins it.
I really hope Mariah is able to get out of the situation, but I also don't want Teddy to go home.
I don't want Teddy or Carson to go home.
I'm not gonna lie, Carson is. I'm not living for Carson as much as I wanted to.
Oh, I love him.
I love Todrick and I love Chris. Todd, when he's awake, I'm sure he's cool, but like we haven't seen much of that.
He's not like the worst, but I also, if he left, I'd be okay right now. Like at this point, I'm good. Everybody else, I'd be upset.
I'm trying to balance people that I liked going into it versus like how they are in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Todrick is like the only person where I was like expecting them to be good, and like they are.
Yeah.
Whereas
it was like a complete surprise. And a lot of them actually know the game.
Yeah, Chris, we saw that he's like a super fan. So, and he's been kind of like, he's been playing it off like not too bad. He said HOA. Anyway.
He tried to play. I appreciate that people are playing.
Yeah. I just hope it keeps up and it doesn't go bad.
You know, like someone has to go home to breastfeed.
Like, because we've had these seasons, these past 2 seasons that we've covered, it starts out like this, where we're super happy and everything's great. And then week 3, week 4 rolls around and we're like, now this is like.
Are these TV shows like toxic relationships for us? They're abusive. We come back because they're like, oh, I'll be good. And they trick you for a little bit. And they go back to their old ways.
It's like Dunkin' coffee, where like you get amazing coffee one time, and then you keep going back and you're like, it's not good. But like maybe one day it'll be good again. And it's not.
I so agree.
So
how does that happen? That happened to me too.
It happened with Dunkin', it happened with Wendy's. If you haven't had the Frosty Chino from Wendy's, it's Frosty like mix with coffee.
I bet it's good.
So good, but like sometimes the proportions are wrong and it like tastes weird.
You're like,
but it's been giving recently.
Sky's like, back to Wendy's it is.
Because Dunkin' really is just, we were stuck in that line for like 35 minutes and like no one was moving, and then we got the coffee and it was horrible, and I'm like,
why did I do this to myself?
Coffee Bean was okay.
Yeah, Coffee Bean's good.
Anyway, coffee later. We're tired, so we're gonna wrap up this episode.
Pick up, drink some coffee. But when's the next one airs?
I believe it would be Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay.
I believe it might be different
I think it's different because I think I looked it up and some weeks it changes.
Yeah, I think, you know, CBS with their schedule, it changes sometimes. So as of now, we think
Because
it's
of the-
Sunday, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see you in a few days.
In the meantime, go watch it. It's so good. But also like, comment, share, subscribe so you can catch us next week. And yeah.